Hi, this is a foreigner in the Philippines. Well, I think probably our foreigner site has come in for more criticism and attacks than possibly any other um, channel has ever come in for. And I had a letter from someone who's become a good friend, and he had a lot of suggestions, and he wrote to me. I wrote back to him a letter that I thought was quite well thought out, and it got queued. We have a bad signal here, and it's still queued. It's still waiting to go. So I'm looking at it. I read through it again, and I thought that possibly it should be an open letter because it explains quite a few things that have been going on. You can see I've got my glasses on, so you know that I'm going to be reading something, okay? Now, Bill had gone over the whole mess about this woman, Simon Ruth, and how she wanted her money back. Well, it's easy to judge on these things, and it's easy when you're going about your ordinary everyday life to look at this and see it with what you consider may be very clear eyes. I'm not sure that you are seeing it with clear eyes any clearer than you would have seen it had you been here doing the work, boots on the ground. So I'm going to ask you to excuse the fact that I've got my glasses on and I'm not looking at the camera, because I'm going to make this letter to Bill an open letter that everybody can hear. So, Bill said, "Hey Terry, what a mess, part 2. And he had sent another letter saying about the transparency thing. By doing what I suggested, it helps, and then I can't see the rest because of the signal. But what he was doing, he was going over it bit by bit and showing how it could have all been so different. And maybe it could have all been so different. And the only thing that's lacking in all of this is that we're doing the work. And that is a huge difference. So forgive me if I look down and read from the phone that I did this message on. Hi, Bill. No, of course you are not the enemy. He had said, I'm not the enemy, I'm only trying to help. We understand that, Bill. So no, of course, you are not the enemy, but you are seeing the problem in a linear context and viewing it from the end after it's all happened. That is hindsight, being 20/20 vision. Before we start, I will say that I had a feeling this woman was trouble, this Simon Ruth. And I wanted to refund the full amount, but Beth and I could not agree. She is an equal partner, and I bowed in this case to her judgment. Now, Simon gave money early in the game. She was silent as we reported how we took Nisa to Cebu 3 times with a cost of 62,000 plus pesos, which included transportation and food. She remained silent without criticism. She said nothing to indicate her dissatisfaction with how we spent over 100,000 pesos on building a house for Nisa in readiness for her recovery period following the operation to get her out of the dirt floor hovel that she was living in, that no one else cared to help her with till we came along. Only when Nisa quit, refusing the operation, the night before she was meant to go, did Simon start to complain about how the money had been spent without her agreement and against her instructions. We responded promptly to her messages, and we showed her the original message she had written with her instructions for how the donation was to be spent, and explained how her donation had already been spent with full transparency as it happened, without a word from her. She still didn't let it go. She took her claim to PayPal, which is how she paid the gift through to us in the first place. And she asked them for an independent investigation. They checked the facts without even talking to us, and they decided and rejected her claim as being invalid. Now she has become a full-time troll. Beth and I rise daily to unfounded accusations of being thieves and scammers, crooks and criminals and whores. We are criticised for the way we talk and dress, for how we speak about how we live and tell of our lives. We are fair game for every expat channel and troll to accuse us of every crime and breaking of the law. Our accusers offer no evidence, but have rarely been brought down for their destructive behaviour. Now please note, this has begun to change recently, as we have been supported by a loyal family of subscribers who, like yourself, have finally had enough. Am I concerned what people think of my helping my in-laws? Not much. It's about 50-50, whether those we've helped are relatives or not. 50-50. I wish that they understood that we have never hidden a damn thing. When we once had a gift of $100, I messaged the guy that sent this, and I asked him, can I buy a pump for the well of Manangrado, my brother-in-law, and his child? He has a disabled child that he struggles to bring up almost alone. He said yes when he saw the video we made of Manarado's life. When we then showed the house of Rado on video, someone else sent over 4,000 pesos immediately to buy him cladding. His house is just a frame, or was just a frame, and was without cladding. With full knowledge of just who Rado is, our brother, we then raised over 20,000 pesos for him and his disabled child. We didn't ask for that. People just sent that because they saw his story. We have found that what we do makes us targets for every low-life troll who wants to take a shot from behind his keyboard and his many aliases and accounts on YouTube. We can't cater to what these bottom feeders think. So long as we have nothing to hide and keep moving forward with helping those in need, we say go to hell. This month alone, we will have helped lovely May with her cyst problem, Michael diabetic boy for his insulin, Michael's grandpa to have cataract surgery, he goes today. We paid 100,000 pesos for Marifi's mother to have an emergency hysterectomy operation when no one else was coming up with any money. Now we've been said, well, it's not their money. Well, it was actually half, almost half was our money that we had saved from donations or gifts sent directly to us so that we could handle attorney fees when we set up our legal foundation. The pastor's wife from Grandma's Island got treatment for goiter. We gave her 2,000 pesos. We built a house for grassroots Pastor Gilbert in Ubay. We're building a house for Pastor Timio in Burgos. We have given money on to Lena and funded her tests for TB, which have now been confirmed. And we support her medication, along with some other donors, some other of our subscribers that have sent money and are sending money to her on a monthly basis. We support the 2 kids, Talik and Balalut, through school and all living expenses, as they both live at Nanai's house, which we also support. We support everybody here. We make and usually post 6 to 10 videos a day, per day, to raise the money to do what we do, and we work up to 16 hours a day for no pay to make it all happen. 16 hours a day for no pay to make this happen. We travel about the country and we try to help those in need. We have never asked for much for ourselves and still live in a half-finished house without doors and almost completely without windows. They're all boarded up with sheet metal. Believe it or not, I could go on. We will continue to forge ahead, believing that we are being guided from a divine source, knock that if you like, to do what has become our mission to help. And we are now connecting to the Village of Hope orphanage to see how we can help the kids there. We've been along to see the directors. We've agreed in principle how we can operate now under the umbrella of the Village of Hope's license. They are legally licensed to accept donations, and they have agreed that we can operate under their license. We're going to make videos for them, and we're going to try to use what we've learned to help them. In a little over 3 months, we have raised a subscription level that's almost unheard of in such a short time, just by showing our ordinary life and just by being honest and transparent. People that come in and watch just one video and then make a judgment of how everything should be done need to get themselves over here, get their boots on the ground, get their feet in the mud, and try to do what we're doing. It's necessary to point all of this out. It's not a case of answering trolls. It's not a case of justifying ourselves. It's a case of making things known. It's easy to judge how things should be done and say, well, this is how you should have done it, and you should have gone here first and done that last, and then put this in the middle, and then made sure that everybody... Who could ever have known that a woman with something that looked like a fist growing out of her spine would refuse to go through with an operation after we had built her a house and spent over 60,000 pesos of the donor's money on her? Who could have possibly predicted that she would get upset with us because we refused to buy her a cell phone and a bicycle for a child that she had never mentioned before? Who could have predicted that this lonely woman who had no one to help her and was living in a hovel with a dirt floor, starving, who could suppose that suddenly a whole family appeared and were telling her what she should do with her life? Who could have predicted that? That's why I'm saying you're looking at this in a linear fashion, with hindsight being 20/20. We all know now, but nobody knew then. And that's where we were. We had to know then, and we did the best we could. We ran after that person, and we put our own lives on hold to an incredible degree in order to get her through to a normal life. And not only did she turn all of that down, she went over onto another channel And with that channel owner's prompting or persuasion or help, she badmouthed Beth, who had done so much for her. Who could have predicted that? And what did she get for that? 1,000 pesos. Who could have predicted that? Now, don't worry about my long vent. We are indeed still friends, Bill. And I thank you sincerely for caring and for all that you do. And this goes out to all of the incredible subscribers that we have. And we have going on now for 5,000 subscribers in just over 3 months. What all of this perhaps has done is it's made us more visible on channel, all of the Expats channels, and a lot on YouTube. It's not been good. We've had that one expat exposed. Wow, what a shining knight in armour he was for all that is right and wrong. Because as soon as it seemed like he might have to reveal his real name, he disappeared, and he took his channel with him. And his channel apparently was very good with Photoshop, because he sat in his lonely little room and his lonely little mind, and he photoshopped all of our videos so that it looked like we were saying something else, and so that it looked like I had on my t-shirt that I was a scammer. What a life that poor man must have, that he would devote so much skill and energy to stopping two people who are just trying to make a change. We don't need anybody's sympathy. We don't need to have a pat on the back, as some have suggested. We just need to be left alone to do our work. And if you want to help, you can help. You can stand up for what is right, as long as, of course, you think it's right. And we're not telling you what is right and wrong. We're asking you to look at the videos that we've made and how we have tried our very best to be totally transparent. That's what we tried to do. So this is a foreigner in the Philippines. Thanks for watching this. Please like, subscribe, and please share. Share this, because this is a statement that many other expats should have made when they gave up on trying to help because of the same kind of treatment that we are having right now. As I jokingly say to my wife, we're the flavour of the month. Thanks for watching. Foreigner in the Philippines, and Beth.